Hello, my favorite artists. This video is going over our graffiti and street art project. The first assignment in this unit is going to ask you to write your name in two different kinds of fonts. This first font is called the bubble font. You'll start by writing your name like normal, and then you will put circular borders around it, erase the original letter, and then you should have a bubble version of your name. The next version of your name is going to be in this Wildstyle font. So again, you're going to print your name like normal, and then you're going to start bending the letters. Then you will put a square box around each part of your letter, erase the inside, and have kind of a funky letter left behind. The last part to this font is thickening up some areas to create shadows, and then adding things that come off of your letters. This helps your letters pop and make them look more like graffiti. Now I'm going to go into a time-lapse video of me making my name. I start by folding my paper in half so I have two equal parts, and then I do the bubble font. So I write my name like normal, and then I do the circular motions around each letter to create the bubble font. I kept my pencil marks in while I Sharpied, and then I ended up erasing those inside sections. Here I'm just thickening up each letter and then adding in some highlights to make it pop a little bit more. I wrote bubble font on the side of this page so I know which font is which. Then I move on to making the Wildstyle font. I write my letters like normal, and then I go in and add angles into each letter to make it look more wild and funky. Again, after I Sharpied the basic parts in, I erased the original letters, and now I'm adding in shadows and things on each letter to make it pop and have lots more design. Here's what this assignment looked like finished for me. I have my name in the bubble font and my name in the Wildstyle font. I chose to do my last name, but you can use your first name, your middle name, your last name, whatever you would like to do. Now I'm going to show you and talk about the next assignment, which is the Graffiti Tag assignment. The tag is where you choose a word or a symbol that represents you. This assignment asks you to do kind of 3 or 4 things. It first asks you to brainstorm different tag words. So here I'm brainstorming words that mean something to me or something that comes up in my art a lot. I love thinking about the idea of the home. Something that also is important to me is listening. I have an ear necklace that I wear a lot, and it's because my mom says that I listen more than I talk. Another word I think of is peace. And so instead of just thinking about these words just as they are, I get on my computer and I brainstorm other words that these words mean, so synonyms of them. I looked up different words that mean listen, so I'm all ears or I'm hearing you. Then I switched and went to the word peace, and I found synonyms like calm or tranquil. When I got to home, I found words like hearth and dwelling. Then I'm kind of tasked with the idea of which one do I want to use as my tag. So here I circled listen, and then I started doing the part where I bend the letters. You'll see as I start doing this, I realize I don't like how the word listen really looks when I bend the letters a lot. And that's okay. I can change my mind and do something else. It's all about experimenting and seeing what works for you. So I decided on home, and now I moved on to the next step, which was creating the outline for that word. I wrote the letters normally, just like in the last section of this project. And then I did the boxes around each part of the letters, just like in the last project, but with my tag word instead of my name. After you've done that third step of creating the outline, it's time to move on to the fourth step, which is basically just your sketch for your final project and the one that you're going to spend a lot of time on. So this is a sketch of how I'm going to do my final project with the word home. I'm thinking of different ideas and different things that I could add to this to really make my message come across. You can see I added a roof on one of my letters, a door on one of my letters, some slime drips, and then also I did another thumbnail sketch at the bottom before I wanted to move on to my final piece. Now it's time to do your final project that you spend the most time on. So you're going to take your tag word, get a new piece of paper, and design your tag word in the Wildstyle font or a font that you think represents your word, and then add lots of design and details to it with Sharpie. So now here I am doing my final project. I decided on the word home, and then I wanted to incorporate the ear idea of listening also with my word. So for my O, I put in an ear, and then I added lots of drips. I decided to add an earring that was a key, like for a house, and then added lots of different shapes and different things to make my piece pop and really stand out. I even added a little line around it to make it pop more. Here is what my finished piece looks like, and yours might end up looking a lot different from mine, and that's a good thing. I want your word to really mean something to you, and then the elements that you add around it to mean something to you and to your word as well. Feel free to add color to your piece with markers or colored pencils or paint after you're done. I liked how mine looked in black and white, so I just kept it that way. So as a reminder, you have 3 different assignments. The first 2, the name and the tag assignment, are due next week on September 18th, and then you'll have another week to finish your Wildstyle art piece, and that's due on September 25th. I can't wait to see what you guys create.